before streaming was even called streaming, but you've got a lot of the earlier players that were out there. Like Napster was technically there first, even though it was downloads and things like that. And then we had a version of streaming before it was really called streaming. And but there were also people like Pandora and Spotify that were around, that were kicking. And so we were all there, not really calling it. And I don't really think maybe they started using that language of streaming until like Netflix started streaming video, and then it became a thing. And then everybody retroactively said like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just streaming this. We're streaming too," because it was the right word to use for this kind of stuff. But we weren't there yet. This just wasn't the way it looked at it. But you knew people were looking for this stuff, and you knew how they were getting there. And it wasn't always through your platform that people were going to look for this stuff. They were at this point just looking for like, hey, I want to listen to this song or this album or something by this artist, what it is. And you had to figure out like, well, how can I make sure and I use these tools that are out there so people can find them? And that was a real radical shift on just as far as thinking goes and how people do this stuff and how it was going to keep happening from then on out. And it's something where it repeated over and over again. You know, when I was consulting for Sony Pictures Television, for their streaming networks and stuff like that, it was a very similar thing. That was, hey, look, we just need to make sure that all the content you've got is visible and out there and people can see it. And that's the way it can do. But it could be for anything, you know, like it's something where the idea of kind of like hiding, you know, what you're trying to do behind a wall or behind a bush or so whatever, how you want to put it, like that was radically changing. And I knew once that happened, it had to be a matter of like, look, you have to get everything out there, whether it's your product feed or it's your news feed, it's whatever it is to it. If it's not in those places, then you're just invisible.